The young woman, dressed in a soft blue gown that flows like water around her legs, is being gently led down a grand staircase. Her long pink hair sways with every step, catching the warm golden light shining from the ornate railing beside her. She looks up at the man holding her hand, confusion flickering in her bright eyes as she asks, "What do you take me here for?" Beside her, the man, composed and elegant in a crisp white suit, glances back at her with a calm, reassuring expression. His voice is steady, almost tender, as he replies that he wants to take her to exercise a little, to help her temporarily forget the things that made her unhappy. Though she still looks uncertain, her fingers remain intertwined with his as they continue downward together. Their descent continues, the girl carefully lifting the hem of her long dress with one hand to avoid tripping as they move down the remaining steps. The delicate floral patterns embroidered along the bottom of the gown shimmer faintly under the staircase lights. The man stays close, his grip firm yet gentle around her wrist, guiding her with quiet determination. They move in perfect contrast, her soft blue elegance beside his sharp white suit, creating a scene that feels almost like stepping out of a dream. The next moment finds them outside, running lightly through the cool night air. Street lamps cast faint halos of light around them as the wind tugs at the woman's long hair, sending pastel strands flowing behind her like a banner. She holds onto his hand, slightly breathless, trying to keep up. The man leads confidently, his step strong and sure, glancing back at her with a faint yet encouraging smile. The world around them blurs, trees, shadows, and the dark sky all streaking by, emphasizing the haste in their movements and the urgency behind his intention to lift her spirits. They finally arrive at a breathtaking sight, an expansive garden illuminated by hundreds of tiny glowing lights. Fountains rise and fall in graceful arcs, their waters reflecting the soft shimmer of gold and blue surrounding the scene. Trees encircle the garden like silent guardians, their trunks and branches lit by warm, hidden lamps. The entire landscape glows as though touched by magic, peaceful, serene, and almost unreal. It is exactly the kind of place where worries seem to melt away, swallowed up by beauty and silence. Catching her breath, the girl bends forward slightly, one hand resting on her knee, while the other still clings to his. Soft sounds escape her as she tries to steady herself after the sudden running. Her cheeks are lightly flushed, and her dress sways gently as she exhales. Though tired, her posture suggests she is beginning to relax at last, perhaps even starting to understand the reason he brought her here. The man remains by her side, patient and unhurried, still holding her hand as though silently telling her she isn't alone. Under the cool night sky, the young man turns his head slightly, a faint, knowing smile touching his lips. The moonlight outlines the sharp lines of his face, giving him a composed and almost tender look. Dressed neatly in his white suit and striped tie, he speaks with quiet firmness, telling her that her condition isn't good enough for running. His voice carries a gentle authority as he suggests they slow down and walk instead. The softness in his eyes shows he is more concerned about her than anything else. Side by side, the two walk through the dimly lit garden path. The girl breathes heavily, a tiny drop of sweat forming at her temple as she releases a small, exhausted whew. Her long pink hair falls loosely around her shoulders, swaying with each step. Despite her weariness, there is a sense of calm in the air. The man walks steadily beside her, silent but reassuring, his presence like an anchor in the peaceful night. The faint glow of distant lights illuminates their silhouettes as they hold hands gently yet securely. Their hands remain linked as they continue their slow walk. Her long blue dress flutters softly around her ankles, the layered fabric catching the subtle garden breeze. The floral embroidery near the hem glows under the pathway lights, giving her appearance an ethereal charm. Beside her, the man's long strides are controlled and protective as he adjusts his pace to match hers. Their steps sync together naturally, as if walking in quiet harmony. Suddenly, something interrupts her thoughts. Her eyes widen, sparkling with surprise as she turns her head slightly. The vivid pink of her irises shines under the moonlight, reflecting her sudden confusion. A tiny gasp escapes her lips. Huh? As her heartbeat quickens, something has startled her, something unexpected enough to pull her mind away from her exhaustion. In the next moment, her gaze drops to their hands. Their fingers are no longer loosely held. He is clasping her hand tightly, firmly intertwining his fingers with hers. The impact of the gesture feels almost electric, emphasized by the bright, radiating flash around their joined hands. His grip is steady, warm, and undeniably deliberate. It's not just guidance anymore, it's connection, reassurance, and an unspoken promise that he won't let go. Under the soft glow of the distant lights, the girl stands with her hands held close to her chest, fingers nervously clasping one another. Her pink hair falls around her shoulders, slightly messy from the earlier run. A faint blush colors her pale cheeks, and a bead of sweat trails down as she tries to gather her thoughts. Her voice trembles, barely louder than a whisper. I am sorry. She lowers her gaze, her eyes filled with guilt and hesitation. The night air feels cool around her, but her heart is worn with embarrassment. She looks as though she wants to explain, but doesn't know how. A single street lamp stands tall in the night, its light glowing brightly like a miniature sun suspended in darkness. The soft white radiance spills downward, reaching across the path where the two of them stand. Stars shimmer faintly in the background, blurred by the lamp's brilliance. The entire scene feels quiet, almost too quiet, as if the world is waiting for someone to speak, for something important to be said. The two stand opposite one another, the space between them filled with unspoken feelings. The girl, still catching her breath, gazes up at him with uncertainty and a touch of sadness. Her long dress sways subtly in the night breeze, and her hair glows under the moonlight like strands of rose gold. The man, tall and composed in his immaculate white suit, watches her with steady eyes. His expression is serious, yet not unkind. He seems to be waiting, wanting to understand what she's feeling, but unwilling to pressure her. The moment stretches between them, quiet and fragile. He finally breaks the silence. With his eyes narrowed slightly in focus and concern, he asks, "Why do you say that?" His tone is direct, but not harsh. He genuinely wants an answer. The night around them feels still, the trees casting long shadows that frame his confident posture. His presence is calm, firm, even protective, in contrast to her trembling uncertainty. He lifts his hand toward her, palm open, offering, not demanding. The gesture is simple, yet full of meaning. He is giving her a chance to speak, to trust, to come closer. His open hand is a silent reassurance that he isn't angry, that she doesn't need to apologize alone. In the quiet of the moonlit garden, his outstretched hand becomes an invitation for honesty, for connection, and for her to stop blaming herself. The girl lifts her gaze toward the dark sky, as if searching for strength in the cold glow of the moonlight. Her pink hair cascades softly down her back, glimmering faintly in the night air. With one trembling hand pressed against her chest, she speaks in a voice filled with both sorrow and clarity. She admits that she once placed her hopes on someone, anyone who might protect her from Bei Mingye. Her eyes reflect the pain of old fear, but also a new understanding. She confesses that she has finally come to see a truth she had been too scared to face before. Her words continue, echoing from a place deep inside her heart. "No one can take me out of this abyss," she says quietly, her voice shaking not from fear, but acceptance. "No one else, including you." The weight of her past, heavy and suffocating, spills out into the open. Though her tone is gentle, the meaning behind her words is sharp and heartbreaking. She is telling him, not out of cruelty, but honesty, that her suffering is something she must fight her way out of herself. Before she can take another breath, he steps forward and pulls her into his arms. His hands tremble slightly where they rest against her back and shoulder, revealing the storm churning inside him. His face buries close to her ear, expression pained, as if her words have cut straight through him. The urgency in his embrace shows how desperately he wants to protect her, to take away the burden she carries alone. But despite her sorrow, she remains still in his hold, caught between her own despair and his overwhelming sincerity. Emotion cracks his voice as he insists, "I can, Kaka. Give me a chance. I will definitely do it." He clings to her, coughing lightly as if the intensity of his own emotions overwhelms him. His plea is raw, earnest, almost pleading with fate itself. He wants one chance, just one, to prove that he can be the one to pull her out of the darkness she has been trapped in for so long. But whether she believes him remains uncertain. The image shifts, overlaid with a haunting memory. She stands between two men, the man who holds her now in a white suit, and another figure in black, the one she fears, Bei Mingye. Her expression in the memory is neither anger nor fear, but something in between, a quiet helplessness, a silent plea for freedom. The echo of her voice rings out, "Let me go!" It is the desperate cry of someone trapped between those who want to protect her and the one who once controlled her. The memory fades like smoke, but its impact lingers heavily in the air. Pressed against his chest, the girl's eyes widen, shining with panic and worry. Her voice does not escape her lips, but her thoughts roar inside her mind. She knows things are getting dangerously complicated. She cannot let this continue. No matter how much she wants to rely on him, she understands one truth with painful clarity. No one can stand against Bei Mingye. Her heart tightens as she thinks, "I can't involve him. I must not let him get dragged into this." Her expression trembles between fear and determination, her slender fingers gripping his clothes subconsciously as if torn between holding on and letting go. Suddenly, he gently lifts her chin, his fingers brushing softly against her skin. His eyes burn with resolve stronger than the soft pink light surrounding them. "No, Kaka," he says, voice low but steady. "I really want you to become my girlfriend." He leans closer, earnest and unafraid. "Please agree with me. Give me a chance to fight him formally." His words strike her harder than any force. He isn't joking and he isn't hesitating. He is choosing her openly, bravely. He pulls her into his arms again, his hand resting firmly on her waist as if he's afraid she might vanish the moment he lets go. Her long pink hair falls across his suit, soft and delicate, contrasting his confident grip. He is telling her, without words, that he's not afraid of danger, not afraid of Bei Mingye, not afraid of anything as long as it's her. Their faces hover only inches apart. His gaze is intense, unwavering, filled with a warmth that makes her breath catch. She looks up at him, her violet eyes wide with surprise and uncertainty. The air between them feels charged, soft pink light blooming around them like a quiet confession from the world itself. In that moment, he quietly, firmly declares his truth. He isn't doing this out of impulse. He is fighting for her because she matters to him more than anything. The final words echo like a spark in the silence. "I likes you." Simple, honest, pure. A confession that carries all his courage, all his determination, and all his heart. Under the soft, bluish glow of the night sky, the two stand face to face, closer than either expected. She places her hand gently on his chest, as if trying to hold him at a distance and pull him closer at the same time. Her eyes widen slightly, her lips parted in hesitation, while he gazes back at her with a serious, unwavering intensity. The silence between them feels charged, fragile yet powerful, as though one wrong word could shatter it, but one right word could change everything. Her lips tremble, forming a small gasp, as he leans in suddenly, closing the distance that she had not yet decided how to handle. Her forehead brushes softly against hers, his gaze lowering toward her lips with clear intent. Her eyes widen in shock, her breath caught somewhere between her throat and her heart. The pink backdrop around them deepens, turning the moment into something warm, intimate, and impossible to ignore. She stares up at him with a blush rising across her cheeks, her violet eyes shimmering with confusion, and something tender she can't quite name. His voice low and close enough that she can feel the warmth of his breath, gently asks, "To be my girlfriend, okay?" The words echo around her, sinking into her heart like a soft, irresistible weight. She can hardly breathe as she searches his face, unsure whether to step forward or run. The atmosphere cools as she steps back, trying to recover her composure. Her hand lifts to her chin, almost defensively, as she murmurs, "Muzi-chin, you—" Her voice trails off, unsure, overwhelmed by his sudden closeness and his bold confession. But he doesn't let her hide behind distance. He turns slightly, his tone calm and gentle as he says, "Call me Zichin." His words are simple, yet intimate, an invitation for closeness, for removing the last barrier between them. She hesitates, but her feet react before her heart can decide. One step, and he answers with a step of his own. Their shoes draw nearer on the pavement, inch by inch, as if pulled by a silent force neither can resist. "Come close," the air seems to whisper, echoing the movement of their bodies more than words. The distance between them shrinks again, slowly, hesitantly, inevitably, bringing them back into each other's gravity.